Hey everybody, I'm Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar Today. Boy, I say that every time and it sounds funny. But anyway, hey everybody, I'm Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar Today. And we, we have a very cool thing to talk about today, which I don't want to give it away, but in this tube is a sage fly rod. And for the oops, that's upside down. And for those of you who are into fly fishing, you know what I'm talking about here. So Pete Huttlinger, who was a phenomenal, well-known, internationally famous guitar player, and obviously, people like to talk about the John Denver connection. Back when he was touring in the '90s before John passed away. Um, he obviously toured with him, but he did so much more. He did so much more. He played with so many people, recorded with so many people, had his own thing, his own concerts. That's where I met you, Erin. God,
That's right.
years ago at Ragamuffin Music. Actually, I did the sound. Big deal. It's like one guitar, and
And you know what? The sound is a big deal with
yeah,
one guitar.
yeah.
It's a
It
big
actually
deal.
is because it has to be good.
It's got to be right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be good. And Pete was he's just a great guy and an unbelievable guitar player, and had a fabulous career. And Erin obviously was his wife, or is his wife, was his wife, however you want to put that.
Yeah.
And you probably don't want me to say, but you're a pretty big deal in your own right as one of the top publicists in Nashville. You've got your own gig. I looked you up, baby. I got you covered. Morris Public Relations, and I know that obviously your biggest client, and you've had him for years and years and years, is Vince Gill, and I gotta say, I think Vince Gill is my favorite musician. I mean, the guy sings and he plays, and so do I, but not at that level. But I've always loved the guitar singing. Has been doing it since the Beatles, since the Byrds, since all that way back when. So love me some Vince Gill. Anyway, so that's you, and we're here with Sean McGowan, who is I mean, people that follow the magazine know Sean. I mean, he's been no stranger to these pages, and Sean, I don't even know where to begin with you. I mean, you have a DMA. You're a doctor, if you will.
Guitar doctor.
You're still at you're at the University of Colorado at Denver.
hmm
You run the program there, which is well known, established internationally, blah blah blah, et cetera. All those accolades, that people like to throw on. And you're a hell of a player in your own right with your own recordings, and you do a lot of solo work, finger style. So for people that don't know you, when it comes to solo finger style guitar, Sean's the guy. We go to the Rocky Mountain Festival, and Sean's the guy. So let's see what we got here. And we haven't even talked about Jeff Troxel yet. We'll get there. So we got fly fishing and guitar players. And what's happening, guys?
Match made in heaven.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I've got acoustic guitars and I've got fly rods. I'm with
I
you.
didn't know we were bringing our fly rods. I'd have brought mine out and
Well, I'm
shown
just letting you know that it's not like it's like what's a fly rod?
them.
Sure I know what that is. Man,
Well, I can tell you've got your fishing glasses on top of your head and you got double glasses going.
yep. John Garish. John Garish is a great author who wrote the book "Standing in the Middle of a River Waving a Stick."
Yep.
If you haven't read that, please do.
And the River Why.
And
The
yeah,
river.
yeah, and the river runs through it. I think didn't he do that?
Well, there's the River Why and the river runs through it. Two different authors.
Yeah, but okay. Well, anyway, fly fishing's cool, guitars are cool, and we're here, and you're putting them both together on August. Hang on one second, because I have it here. I know the dates at the August 4 through 7, but I want to do better than that. There we go. Oh, I love this.
You got it? I've
Yeah,
got it
yeah,
if
no,
you don't.
I've had it up all over the place. I just had to figure out where I'm going to go. So August 4th through 7th, and you guys are going to be in I was Music Ranch, Montana, just outside of Livingston, Montana. And
Correct.
I'm gonna give you the description of this. A beautiful ranch nestled in Paradise Valley in the Absaroka Mountains.
Yeah, it looks like Absaroka, but they say it Absorka. That's how
Absaroka,
they
okay.
pronounce it. Absorka
Yeah,
Mountains.
if I lived there, that's what I would say. the Absaroka Mountain Range, and just north of Yellowstone National Park. Um, what a beautiful place to be. And
Paradise Valley, yeah.
yeah, what a beautiful place to be. And for y'all, I highly recommend that if you need a chill period, but you want to learn something and have a great time, do some fishing, do some good eating, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and hang out in the mountains and just get your soul kind of repaired and get your music kind of dialed up a little bit and just be with some cool people and a cool hang. That is where you need to be coming up in August. So, Sean, why don't you tell us a little bit about the camp from your perspective?
Sure. So I think that that was a pretty apt description. I mean, it is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Paradise Valley is just this long, valley with mountains everywhere, just north of Yellowstone, and it's amazing. And I live in Colorado, so I live in the West already, but this is a truly unique place to go visit. And yeah, for anyone that's looking to just unwind, and I mean, I think that there's a few different goals that we all have together. It's a great vacation, period. Like it's a great few days to unwind and just kind of forget the troubles of the world, if you will, and just focus on not only your guitar playing and musical development, but fishing in a beautiful environment and developing some camaraderie. I mean, I think that, so I was fortunate enough to do this camp 2 years ago, 2 summers ago. And I did it with Jeff Troxel. We were the instructors. And at that point, it was a fingerstyle guitar, like an acoustic emphasis camp.
Right.
And it was incredible. I mean, several of the students go year after year, and it's a great opportunity to just kind of refresh, both from, being in nature and also being around a lot of guitar and music and kind of this intensive instruction. So the way it's formatted is everybody arrives on Sunday, and then most people hang out and start jamming Sunday night. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are 3 days of music intensive. And so Jeff and I each have a small group of players, so we kind of trade off between small groups and then the whole group together. And we have a whole curriculum that we've prepared for it with an emphasis on, some fingerstyle playing and developing standards. But this would be a good place to insert. I want to really emphasize this. It's not intimidating at all. It's not competitive. It's super chill and super laid back. And also, you don't have to have any fishing experience, by the way. I mean, it's helpful, but everybody gets a lesson. So on Thursday, after the 3 days of guitar instruction, and we play at night and students perform, it's a lot of fun. It's really great. It's a small group, but really any level of musician is welcome. And any level of fishing is welcome. I remember when I first spoke with Erin a couple years ago about this, I said, is part of this teaching gig, like, do I have to be proficient in, because I'd never gone fly fishing before in my life.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like on Thursday, everybody gets a lesson and then goes out on the Yellowstone with a trained guide. And it is so much fun. I took my son with me. He caught his first fish, and it was pretty magical. So I really wanted to underscore that. This is, so Erin she can elaborate on this too, but she had, I think, a really great idea of maybe expanding the content of the camp. And so now this year it's 2 weeks, or she started that last year. So 1 week is fingerstyle acoustic. That's the week after us. And then Jeff and I are on August 4th through 7th, and that is a jazz emphasis. So we're hoping to attract, for example, players that are interested in jazz, maybe even have some experience playing jazz with a pick, but want to explore some fingerstyle playing, fingerstyle techniques, learn how to play solo guitar. Jeff's a great solo guitarist as well. Of course, I'll have a lot of emphasis in my curriculum on playing fingerstyle and solo, how to arrange, how to play just songs by yourself to enjoy, whether you're playing in public or just at home. But we also get into like a lot of improv and just some basic theory to really enhance your musical repertoire. So I would say if you're a jazz player and you want to check out some fingerstyle, that this would be a great environment. If you're more of an acoustic fingerstyle player, a lot of people are into like, Merle Travis and Chet Atkins and that thing, but they want to kind of dip their toes into the jazz pool. This is a great opportunity to do that as well.
Very, very cool.
We found that last year, a lot of the repeat customers, which I'm happy to say we have a lot of people who have come every single year or every other year, but they were wanting to kind of expand their playing, and they've spent a lot of time practicing. So a lot of them moved over to the Jazz Week last year and enjoyed it and are coming back for that again this year. So,
Well, I think that's great. And I mean, I really do. I can't imagine a better way to spend 3 days. Well, I can, but I can't talk about that right now. Anyway, no, I can't imagine a better way to spend 3 days. That's phenomenal. Jeff Troxel, pardon me? Did you say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Jeff Troxel is an educator as well in University of Montana, went to Berkeley, did all that, chose to live in Montana, was a national flat picking champion. So, and he can, you know, you check him out because he can play basically anything, and he sings, which is cool. Writes songs.
yeah, Jeff's a real chameleon, and
Yeah,
he's been my stabilizing force because Pete and Jeff were at Berkeley together. They
yeah,
used to busk in the subways together, and Pete was a fingerstyle champ, and Jeff was a flat picking champ, both from, at the Walnut Valley Festival. But Jeff's done it every year with me because Pete and I did it, started the camp in 2014,
right,
and we did it for 2 years, and then he passed away.
right,
And I didn't do it that year. And then a lot of people who had come those 2 years really encouraged me to keep it going. And so when I fired it back up in 2017, I just felt like Jeff's kind of, you were talking about security blanket earlier, or no, maybe that was a different conversation, but Jeff's kind of my security blanket, and I like having him there. And
well,
he's good he's a great teacher, good communicator, and I only invite instructors who have that same kind of laid back vibe Pete did. I mean, Pete could be a real taskmaster, but he was really nurturing. And
right,
so, I seek out instructors who are great players, but not all great players are great teachers. And so I do a lot of studying and figure out who are the great instructors, but they also have to have that vibe.
right,
There's just no room for any downers. I want people to be uplifted. And Pete was such a believer in just play music. He would jam with anybody. We have jams in the evenings after class, but then also most of the students go back to the hotel. And word is, I don't stay at the hotel, but word is they're up till the wee hours, jamming at the hotel where they all stay. And that's the vibe, we're looking
Yeah.
for.
well, I'm
It's so
not.
true. It's a really nice hotel, and there's a little fire pit out back. And then as soon as people get back to the hotel, they just hang around. And it's very casual, but it's really hard to exaggerate how awesome an experience the camp is. And I'll also add a plus one for Jeff. He's incredible. I mean, like Erin said, he is a musical chameleon. He's great at so many things. I mean, he's like a really strong straight ahead player, bebop player, but he's this incredible bluegrass flat picker. He's this incredible singer songwriter. He writes these amazing songs. He's got a great voice. And then, especially in this environment, he's just so chill. He's such a nice guy and super patient. And yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Jeff and getting to know him better. Yeah, it's
If you
great.
were to Google um, a I want a warm, inviting singer, songwriter, guitar player who reflects the mountains of Western America. I mean, that's Jeff. I mean, that's kind of his whole vibe. He's got the longer hair, and all that. He's got. I wish I had that hair. I mean, I've got hair, but I wish I had that hair. And he's got his voice is like like that honey syrupy kind of thing that just warm as toast, and he can play his ass off. That's a technical term we use here at Jazz Guitar today. Um, and he can play his ass off, and he's obviously a great teacher because of he's been on the faculty, and there's a whole lot of accolades. Look him up, Google him, check out the YouTubes. You can see him interacting with his students at the camp actually. And the same with you, Sean. I mean, what a cool vibe. I was gonna say something about something acoustic guitar, flat picking. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, August 11th through 14th. Just a quick mention on the fingerstyle guitar camp. my buddy Pat Bergeson is going to be there.
Yeah. I've been trying to have Pat for years, but he often was either on the road. Like last year, I think he was out with Frampton, and the year before, maybe he was teaching at the Roots Camp, Colorado Roots Camp. But
Yeah.
we've been trying to get our schedules to align for a long time. Pat's a pal and doesn't live far from here.
Really? Well, you know what's interesting is he's the best harmonica player I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, it's like, I mean, first of all, he owns Chet Atkins because Chet gave it to him, his Super 4000, which I didn't know there was such a thing, but there is. It's called a Super 4000. And Chet had that guitar in his office, and that was the one he would pick up and play when he was there. And he bequeathed that. He gave that to Pat when he passed away, and that was the guitar 2 years ago that he brought out to the Rocky Mountain Arch. So he's one of the people that Chet had so high regard for, and so I'm thinking of him as a guitar player, and then all of a sudden he breaks out the harmonica, and I was floored. I mean, just completely floored. So that's the following week. But so I know that this is a really, really popular camp. Is it too late for people to get in?
No, we have a few spots left in both weeks, and I usually have a reasonable waiting list as well, because between now and August, something will come up in somebody's schedule. So being on the waiting list is actually, your odds are reasonable that you'll get in.
And I don't know this, but I believe there's probably a couple of good wineries not too far away from where you guys are out there.
I don't know. There's lots of wine I've tapped into. I don't. Yeah,
that's kind of where I was. That's kind of where I was going.
There's a pub called Glenn's. I like.
Yeah, I mean, sitting around the fire pit with a guitar and a good glass of. I like. I like a red, I like a Cabernet or a Pinot Noir or something like that. They're a little different.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't camping out in the middle of nowhere. We're right down where we are. It's right down the street from Livingston, which is a really cool
Right.
town. A lot of movie stars and rock stars, I guess, have moved there.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of really nice restaurants. There's a scene there. There's dining, and there's So I just want people to know they're not out in the middle of the woods. This is not hardcore camping at all.
No, it's not. The other thing I was going to say about fly fishing and just real, you're talking about not having any experience fly fishing. Those guys out there, they make their living taking people that have no experience fly fishing at all and walking them through it and babysitting and make sure that you have a great time out on the water. And I will say this, I used to fly fish a lot. I was like really into it. I would go 4, 5, 6 days a week, and because I live across the street from a river. It's kind of a long story, but you cannot get out of the water after fly fishing in a bad mood. It's impossible.
It's so peaceful.
It is impossible to be in a bad mood. And whatever's going on in your life, if you're in a great mood when you get out there, it's going to be greater.
Yeah, and the wildlife, the wildlife you see. Well, just to clarify, what it is it's a float trip. So when it comes to gear, you don't have to have any. It's not like you've got to have waders. You don't even have to have a fly rod because they'll supply you with everything.
Sure.
But it's a float trip. So there's 2 people per boat and really wonderful guides. We use Yellowstone anglers.
Right.
We've used them since 2014. And so, you don't even have to, I'd bring a raincoat though.
Yeah.
I would bring that. And something else I wanted to mention, because often people bring their spouses or partners with them, and the question is, what can they do during the day? One thing they can do is if they want to eat dinner with us, they can. There's an additional charge for it, but they can always come in and join us for lunch and dinner if they like that. But obviously the park is only 45 minutes south of where we are, and there's a lot of things to do in Bozeman's 30 minutes away, and there's a lot of things to do there, and there's hiking and all sorts of stuff. And if anyone had questions about that, sometimes we have some regular partners who have come that are happy to jump on the phone and give you ideas of things that you can do during the camp.
I can't imagine anything. This is like perfect for me. I'm just saying it.
Are you coming?
I can't come. I would I love to? Absolutely.
Clearly, you'd like to join us.
Oh, I would love to, but I have what do they call that? Prior engagements, you
Mhm.
know. But I would love to. It certainly is like right up my alley. I mean, it's everything. I've been playing guitar since I was about 11 years old, 12 years old. I have a guitar in my hands every day of my life and have for many, many years. Here's an arch top that's right here, but there's a flat top acoustic right over there and a couple of solid bodies. And I'm just, that's, I mean, my love for guitar that's why we're doing this thing. So there's that. And I'm also an outdoors guy. And it's just like made for me. So in a different time, God willing, I'll have to get my butt out there, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be there. You should be there. Go have fun, enjoy this. You got world-class teachers in a world-class environment having world-class fun. You need to be there. And the dates are August 4th through the 7th. And to get a hold of you guys to get signed up and all that kind of stuff, what do they got to do, Erin?
Just go to petehuttlinger.com and there's a tab there that says camp, and just go there and you can click through any of those links and it'll send you to my email address. And then we can even set up a time if you want to talk on the phone, because obviously people always have a lot of logistical questions. They have questions about, am I the appropriate kind of player for it? And sometimes it's just easier to talk on the phone. So I'm
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, well, that makes it warm and fuzzy, which is really
What
great.
One thing I just wanted to add real quick, since you were talking about gear a couple of minutes ago, fishing gear, of course, like Erin said, you don't have to bring your own fishing gear, but you can if you want to, if you're really into that. And the same holds true. People need to bring a guitar, but that's it. And in fact, our good friend Pete Hendrickson of Hendrickson Amplifiers, he's actually going to take a break from the stressful work life and routine, and he's going to be a camper this year.
Oh
So
my God.
he's going to bring some amps with him by default, and I'm driving up, and I'll have a couple with me. So all that to say, there will be amps for the campers, so nobody has to worry about bringing an amp or anything. All you got to do is just bring yourself and your guitar
Well, Pete,
And a humidifier.
and a
and a
humidifier.
raincoat.
Yeah, I'd bring a humidifier. It is
And
pretty
drink
dry up
drink
there.
drink a lot of water. Well, Pete is one of my favorite human beings. He's just quintessential. He's just a great guy. Makes a great product. I've got one here. I take one to the get. I mean, that you can't do better than that. For him to hang out there, that's a cool hang. Just him being there is just a cool hang. And so,
I can't wait to meet him.
oh, it's everything that you would imagine and more.
Yeah.
He's just like super, super, super guy. Anyway, have we missed anything? Anything else you want to add?
So this has been fun. It's just good to see you after all these years. It's been a
Uh,
while since I was at the Ragamuffin, but that was a
well,
good gig. I remember it.
Ragamuffin, R.I.P., is no longer with us. It's a kind of a long story, and it's really funny with venues that kind of come and go. And I don't want to get into a down situation at all, so I don't want to go there too much. But I will say this: that if you've got a cool venue in your town, anywhere, I don't care where you live, support it. Go.
Yeah.
Buy tickets, drink, eat, support. Because when venues die, it's real tough to get them back. Real tough. It's hard. I know new places always sprout up, but if you got a cool place and they're supporting music and they make good food and they do all that kind of stuff, man, that's most of those people aren't making a killing. They're doing it because they love it. And please support the local venues, and because
Not to mention they're hugely supportive of the artists. If they're
that's
not
where
there,
I'm
the
going.
artists have nowhere to gig.
And what are they, and what are they doing? They're providing venues for artists to play. And man, we all need, trust me, we've done articles for cities all over the world. If there's one thing that we need in this genre that we play, all these multiplicity of genres that kind of fall under this basket, it's more venues and of course better pay. That'd be great, but better pay has to come from somebody and all this kind of stuff. So support venues. So ladies and gentlemen, unless you got something else, I think we've done a really good job of telling people what's going to happen out there in August.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks,
for
Bob,
having us.
thanks for having us on. I
Of
just wanted to
course.
close out by offering that, a lot of people, if any folks are watching, a lot of players think, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready, or, jazz is too intimidating. I just really want to reiterate that don't worry about it. Just come. I mean, August is so beautiful in Montana, and Jeff and I have structured the curriculum so that it's welcoming for everybody, and we know how to do that. So if you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, and even if you're advanced, you know, you're playing gigs, we are able to accommodate everybody musically. It's 3 days of intensive fun, but it's also really laid back. It's a good time.
If all you know is G, C, and D, you still need to get your butt out there because you may learn an A minor and a B minor, and, you know, fill out the rest of it. So, you know, it's you're going to be in great hands with great educators doing cool stuff. And there's no way you can go out there and not have your guitar playing lifted. There's no way. There's just, I guarantee it. There's just no way. So no matter what level you're at, you know, you need to, you know, don't be intimidated by that at all. Please don't do that. That would be the worst reason not to go out there. Go, 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 go. Thanks, guys. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Erin,
Enjoyed
Sean,
it.
I don't know Jeff, but please tell him I said hi. And we're going to look forward to some successes. Now, one thing I want to say before we go, take pictures when you're out there. Shoot video when you're out there, just on your phone. Send it to us. We'll put it up, you know, right away. Get it out there, you know, show people, hey, if you can't make it, or you're in Italy and that's where you live, or you live in France, or you live in, you know, it's really tough to come over. You know, you still want to know what's going on here and give you maybe inspire somebody to do something like that in their country. So that would be really, really cool too. Thanks, guys. Bob Bakert for Jazz Guitar with Erin and Sean. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.
See ya.
Bye.